Some time ago, I was talking trash in Asmongold's Twitch chat and set the WoW King himself into one of his infamous 30-minute tangents.
After Overwatch shit, you should be worried about monetization of Diablo 4.
From that spurred the thought, why don't I create an argument in video format so that we can be on equal playing ground for the topic at hand? Asmon gets to react, and I get to get my point across.
It's a slippery slope, but there's nothing you can do about it, to be honest. It's not a slippery slope.
Today we're going to talk about purchasable cosmetics being a slippery slope into pay-to-win features across Blizzard and competitive games. And I'll tie this back into my original comment, which was, can you really trust Blizzard to keep a promise about not monetizing power or convenience in Diablo 4, especially with the recent backtracking of PvE content in Overwatch 2?
Sorry. We're sorry. I'm deeply sorry.
I think first we need to establish the definition. What is pay-to-win? Pay-to-win is content that can be purchased in a game that gives a player an advantage or additional power compared to someone that doesn't spend money on the game. I'd like to add that this transaction also works for time as well, meaning pay-to-win is anything that can be purchased in a game that gives a player an advantage or additional power compared to someone that doesn't spend money or a significant amount of time in the game. To support this addition of the definition, I'll use two examples. One is a terrible example and is extreme, and the second is a bit more on the line and up for debate on if it's acceptable or not. The first example is Diablo Immortal. One of the systems in Diablo Immortal is flat out increase character power is through gems. Gems are tiered items, meaning they can be anywhere from 1 to 5 stars, 1 being the worst and lowest power, and 5 being the best or highest power. Using the free-to-play model, one Redditor suggests that a 5-star gem can be obtained in free-to-play by reselling 12 gems per day for profit, which means if you take the time to farm gems, then sell them every day for about 160 days, you can buy yourself a legendary gem. Another estimate I read said that it takes about an hour and a half to farm the max amount of gems for the day. So with a total of 240 hours, you can get yourself one 5-star gem, or you can pay an average of $1,900 to slot machine your way to a 5-star gem.
What do you mean? I have $100.
Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
This translates to about $8 per hour over 240 hours as a cost to get a 5-star gem. The second example involves League of Legends. Currency called Blue Essence is awarded for completing matches in League. These Blue Essences can be used to unlock new champions that directly give power to the player. This is because League is mostly a game about using counter champion picks to win lanes in any given game. Ideally, the more lanes you win, the better your chances are at winning the game. Therefore, you can derive power from being able to choose the correct character in a given match situation to have an increased advantage in that game. Sort of like rock, paper, scissors, but with less defined odds for winning. According to this Redditor, they rationalized that Blue Essence gathering can be maximized at 9.11 units per minute as long as you win every game you play. A new champion that costs 6,300 Blue Essence can be unlocked with 11.5 hours of playtime. Alternatively, you can purchase champions for about $7, meaning your game is valued at 60 cents per hour to get a new champion. With the current champion count in League of Legends being 163 unique champions, it would take approximately 25 in-game days to farm enough currency to buy all champions. In both of these examples, power can be purchased or grinded for. In a lot of cases, people will use these free-to-play and paid options as a way to say, the game is not pay to win. However, if you reference our previous definition, anything that can be purchased in a game that gives a player an advantage or additional power compared to somebody that does not spend money on the game, both of these examples fit the bill. You then might say, well, you can grind for both of these options, so how can it be pay to win? And this is where my time amendment comes into play. For casual gamers that might play 1 to 2 hours per day, it would take them over 160 calendar days to get that max rank gem in Diablo, or 6 calendar days to get that new champion in League. Meanwhile, the paid option player has the ability to get both of these items right now, which in the context of League, for example, means that player could have access to an overpowered character that the non-paid player cannot hope to unlock for some time, meaning a 0-day player in both of these instances are not on the same power level being paid versus free to play. In conclusion, just because you can spend in-game time to obtain power instead of paying for it doesn't mean that pay to win doesn't exist in this situation. While we can talk forever about how game time should be valued and what is considered egregious for microtransactions, let's move on to looking at the slippery slope of microtransactions with how we have outlined how to define pay to win. The difference between a fallacious and non-fallacious slippery slope is the likelihood that the initial event will lead to the resulting claim. This means that the link between the two events cannot be subjective. It needs to be backed with, ideally, logical data. Saying this, let me show you why the following argument is not a slippery slope fallacy. Paid cosmetics are a slippery slope for pay to win and pay for convenience functions in video games. The initial event here is paid cosmetics, and the resulting claim is pay to win / pay for convenience. My job is to establish the link using non-subjective data. To frame my argument, let's only use popular games according to Twitch data. I looked at the competitive games like League, CSGO, Valorant, Apex, Fortnite, Warzone, Tarkov, Overwatch, and I also looked at other games like WoW, Dead by Daylight, PoE, and Diablo 3. Let's first identify paid cosmetics in the game and find out when they were implemented. This will set our initial event. And as a note, I am excluding any black market paid features in games. The following games have paid cosmetics and have been in the game since launch: League, CSGO, Valorant, Apex, Fortnite, Warzone, Overwatch, WoW, Dead by Daylight, PoE, and Diablo 3. The only game that does not have purchasable cosmetics is Escape from Tarkov. Now, let's identify pay to win / pay for convenience in each of these games and when they were implemented. This will set our resulting claim. League of Legends had purchasable champions upon release, but added purchasable runes in July of 2019 that allowed you to increase your character's power instantly. This is a pay-to-win feature, but still obtainable through loads of in-game playtime. This is pay-to-win. CSGO. CSGO Prime was released in April 2016 to improve matchmaking lobbies, which is a pay-for-convenience feature. CSGO 360 Stats was released in May of 2021, which is a pay-for-convenience feature that displays game data that the game already collects for a premium cost. Valorant has purchasable agents that have always been in the game, but there is no other way to buy power. Apex has purchasable champions that have always been in the game, but there is no other way to buy power. Fortnite has no pay for convenience or pay to win features. Warzone has pay to win and pay for convenience in DMZ, a new bundle that was released in April of 2023, which adds operator slots and adds permanent storage space where other players start with neither of these things. This is pay to win. Tarkov has pay for convenience and pay to win with increased stash space, increased trader reputation, and increased resources for wipes. This is pay for convenience. Overwatch. The release of Overwatch 2 introduced a paywall for new heroes that supersedes and removes the free and earnable systems in the game. This is pay to win. World of Warcraft. The first leveling boosts in the game released with WoD in 2014, allowing you to skip content a free-to-play player could not skip. Purchasable in-game currency translates to power in 2015 in the form of paid in-game services for World of Warcraft. This is a pay-for-convenience / pay-to-win feature. Dead by Daylight. Talents become purchasable through in-game currency, and characters become exclusively locked behind paywall after the release of the first DLC. This is pay-to-win. PoE released purchasable stash tabs and character slots in 2020. This is pay for convenience. Diablo 3. Real Money Auction House released June 2012, 1 month post-launch, where in-game items could be purchased with real money, resulting in buyable power. This is pay to win. So it seems like of the 12 games we looked at, 11 games have purchasable cosmetics upon release, and 8 games went on after to release to implement some sort of system that allows you to pay for power or convenience. By the way, did you notice that every popular Blizzard Activision game mentioned above fits our slippery slope argument? Of the 4 relevant Blizzard Activision games noted, all 4 went on to add purchasable power in-game. In fact, I'll give you a cookie if you can name one Blizzard Activision game that has been released in the last 10 years that doesn't or didn't have purchasable power over the course of its lifespan. If 8 out of 11 popular games allow you to pay for power or convenience, after previously only allowing you to pay for cosmetics, would you still say it is not a slippery slope? I mean, you're probably saying something like causation doesn't equal correlation, which is tough to prove after all. It's not in the best interest of gaming companies to come out and make the direct link and say something along the lines of, yes, we want our consumers to spend money, so we make sneaky ways for them to want to spend more money on the game that they've already purchased. But we can look at how games transform over time and use that to decide if paid systems are becoming more or less robust. If they're becoming more robust, then likely game developers are finding them to be working well in whatever goals developers have for these systems, right? I mean, if you want something tasty to drink, do you buy more Kool-Aid if you don't like how the first Kool-Aid packet tastes? Probably not. Do you buy more if you like the flavor? Probably. Do you try the other flavors? Maybe. But certainly not if you don't like the taste the first time. This can be said the same for developing systems in the game. Developers won't continue to build out systems they don't think are serving their function.
With everything we've learned about what it takes to operate this game at the level that you deserve, it's clear
That old man
we
is
can't
not
deliver on that
beating the
original vision
record.
for PvE that was shown in 2019. What that means is that we won't be delivering that dedicated hero mode with talent trees, that long-term power progression. Those things just aren't in our plans anymore.
Let's look at Overwatch. Overwatch 1 released with only one system for buying in-game items for money. You could only buy cosmetics, and it came in the form of loot boxes. And actually, loot boxes were pretty easy to earn in-game. So much so that I've never spent a dime on Overwatch, and I have roughly 1,000 hours in the game and have unlocked maybe 60% of cosmetic items. You would receive loot boxes at a good rate, but could always buy more if you wanted, and I would say a majority of players thought that this system was good. Then comes Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 released with individually purchasable skins, purchasable bundles, purchasable battle pass, purchasable slots in the battle pass, and purchasable characters. One system was replaced with 5 systems upon the new release of the game, and as we know now, nothing else about the game really even changed. So does the addition of all of these new purchasable items that aren't earnable in-game make a better experience for the player? Does it improve the player's quality of life? I don't think so. So can you tell me why it was added? I think the answer is obvious. Having purchasable cosmetics in a game lowers the player's tolerance for spending additional money on a game they've already purchased. And I think I have drawn enough lines to show that the argument that comes with this statement is not a fallacy.
And the first spend is, it breaks the ice, then they think of themselves as spenders in the game. It's okay for me to spend in the game.
In-game purchasable cosmetics is a slippery slope for purchasable power in video games. So I leave you with this conclusion, then I'll ask a final question. Diablo 4 will feature purchasable cosmetics.
The shop, and the
Diablo 4 will feature a battle pass with purchasable slots.
battle pass of the battle pass. Battle pass.
No, that's battle pass.
It is only a matter of time before, somehow, some way, power will be available for purchase in Diablo 4.
Shop is trying to show you things that you want to buy.
Will it be stash slots in a stash that has already been called out for being too small? Will it be the ability to purchase more gambling currency in the form of murmuring orbs to roll for legendaries and uniques? Will new classes be purchasable individually and not included in DLC content? Will there be paid skips to max level after Season 1? The most important question, however, to ask after sticking through to the end of this video is, can you really trust Blizzard to keep their promise about not monetizing power or convenience in games like Diablo 4?
Is there any plans to put WoW tokens in Classic WoW?
So in terms of tokens, no. We're trying to keep it very pure.
Thank you all for watching. I've been Java Monkey J. Peace.
I'm really excited for Diablo. Diablo's not going to be pay to win, guys. Look, guys, Blizzard's learned their lesson, okay? Now, look, the devs in Diablo